Well, I think it's about time for us to go.
It's been beautiful here.
Yeah.
I don't want to go. But I always say that. It's just so nice.
It's been a lovely couple of weeks of just relaxing, but we've got some family coming.
Yeah, my brother Peter and his wife Sue are over in Europe, and they've put aside 2 weeks to come out sailing with us.
Yeah.
So we need to meet them.
Yeah, so we've planned to go into some of the islands that are just on the west coast of Italy. So Elba is probably the first one, which is sort of quite famous because it's where Napoleon Bonaparte was exiled to for the first time.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there'll be good things to look at. So we've arranged to meet them in Corsica. Corsica is not far. How many hours sailing?
It's about 35 nautical miles from Elba, so it's a good day sail. And they're currently in France, and so they're going to come down to Marseille and grab a ferry and get across to Corsica. But what we've noticed at Corsica this time of year is there's really strong winds around the north of Corsica. So while it's close, I'm a little bit worried, but the reason we've chosen that is that if need be, we can get them to jump on a ferry and get from Corsica to Elba to meet us.
And we know how many ferries are around.
Yes.
They just keep coming. We've seen them.
Yes, lots of ferries.
Yeah.
I think the thing that they say... Do you want a cup of...
I'd love a cup of coffee. Thank you.
Let me just shove that on. One of the things they do say is the most dangerous thing you can do in sailing is to try and sail to a time frame.
Yes.
Yeah. But when you've got visitors...
You've got a time frame. We've got to be there. So,
so we've got probably only about a week's sailing time.
Yeah.
You know, if we just do day sails to get down to Elba, and we've got 3 weeks. But we want to go into Pisa and Florence.
Yes.
So I found a place.
At least 2 days.
Yeah. 2 days. So I found a place called Via Reggio that we can go to. So we can spend 2 days there. And if we end up being to Elba a week earlier, it's not going to hurt because we always struggle to try and get things delivered. So it's a nice sheltered port, so we can easily stay there and get things delivered if we need to.
Yeah, we just need to keep time up our sleeve because if something happens and we're held up because of weather, we're stuck somewhere. Our visitors come and they get off the ferry and they've got no accommodation booked. You know, they'll be there at a certain time, and we have to make sure that we are close enough to get there around that time. So
yeah, and if they're here for us for a week and then we're 3 days late, you know,
they might be sleeping in the bus shelter.
Yeah, but for us, ending up somewhere 3 days after we planned is not really an issue normally.
Yeah. Or being held up and just sitting somewhere an extra week like this. We can stay, honey. No. Yeah. But I've ordered some stuff for San Remo, our solar panels and stereo and a few other little things. So we're going to pop back into San Remo and we'll provision there because we know what's there. And a big supermarket not too far,
Yeah. So next few days what you're going to be seeing is quite a bit of sailing.
Yes.
So I hope you enjoy it. Goodbye, Monton.
We had a beautiful time. It's such a lovely, lovely little town. I kind of think now, maybe at this stage in our life, that I appreciate everything as I do it and I'm not going to come back. I don't want to say I'll do that next time because we've got so many places to see, so there's a little bit of sadness as we say goodbye to these places always. They're so lovely.
Big world and tiny home. Well, it's about at this point that you take the weather forecast and you put it down to the head just in case you run out of toilet paper because it is so wrong it's not funny. We had maximum 4 knots, head up to 15, right on the nose, so we've still got the motor on powering into the waves. We're not too far off San Remo now.
So I've just wandered up through the town of San Remo to do a little bit of shopping. I think to provision for 2 to 3 weeks, so we don't have to worry about shopping while we're away. We're looking for a large supermarket. What a beautiful place.
It's been a very quiet sail out of San Remo today. Had the motor on at times.
just left Alessio where we anchored overnight. It was a really nice little anchorage. You can see it behind me, just a bit of a beach. And now we're heading straight out, cutting the corner right across to Portofino. So we're looking at kind of 8 or 10 hours of sailing today. But it's a beautiful day. Sails up, a little bit of breeze.
We have a guest on board. I don't know if he quite realises the precarious position he's in, because today's sail is probably the first one where we're going to get far enough offshore that we will lose sight of land. We certainly can't see where we're going, which is about 45 nautical miles straight across, I think it's the Gulf of Genoa. We're sort of cutting the corner rather than hugging the coast and sort of doing a loop up to the north and back down. We're just going to cut the corner. Just left the anchorage. We've got about 38 nautical miles today. I think it's going to be all motoring, very light breeze coming straight on the nose, so it's not even worth motor sailing.
So we've just pulled up our anchor at the lovely Portoferraio. It's about 9 o'clock. We've got a few hours sailing this morning. Beautiful calm. You know, it's interesting. Almost all the places we go to have signs of protection for the sea. Some kind of fort, some of them ancient, some of them not so old. We've just pulled into Via Reggio, and it is always so stressful. We've just done an amazing job. So we're pulling off our muddy gloves. I'll show you the amount of space we've got. So we've got a reverse into the spot with boats literally 30 centimetres each side is all we've got. We've got wind. We can't go too far forward because it gets shallow up there. And there's boats on the other side, so we can't even swing out. It's a real narrow bit between the boats. So this is my starboard quarter at the back of the boat, and we've got 13-14 knots of breeze blowing straight across us at the moment. It's probably not quite that much in the harbour here, so we had to go down and reverse back in, which was ideal because it flips the nose back out into the breeze, but not ideal if they only got one bow line, which happened to be the port side, which is we really want the windward side, not the leeward side. So anyway, a little bit crooked. We're on. Marino jumped on the boat next door and just eased us away, and we managed to come in without a little bit of tangling of fenders, but that's okay, easily fixed. Yes. Yeah. A little bit of fending off. Yes. But no touching of boats. No touching. Only touching of fenders. Honestly, you can't fit 2 fenders in that gap. No. And all the boats have fenders. Yeah.
like ticks on a dog, some of them, but anyway. We're off to Pisa, just for a little evening look at the Leaning Tower and maybe a drink.
Ooh.
Yes, that would be nice. It's a beautiful evening, must be still 26, 27, and it's just gone 6 p.m.
Feels hotter. It was really hot today.
It's a really nice thing to come into a place that you haven't researched very much and just be surprised and delighted by what you see. It's very much, it feels like just a huge beach resort. The beach goes on for miles and miles. Turn around and have a look at this walking street. Well, honey, a Ferris wheel.
Woohoo! Haven't seen one of them in ages.
Seems to be any beach town that we've seen has to have a Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
Pretty much exactly the same model. So we've just come to Pisa on the train to find the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
We got off a stop earlier than Pisa Centrale because on Google Maps it looked like it's closer, but we're like in the middle of I don't know, local streets. It's not a car. Doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
All right, we've got to walk in that direction. Let's have a look. I think we found it.
I think we found it. Yes. We've arrived in Florence. About an hour and a half on the train, or maybe a bit more actually, but yeah. And it's busy. It's just tourists everywhere. No.
Fenders on Helios are white, on the boat to our port are blue. You see how they're actually crossed? There's really no space. And on the other side, you see our white fenders are actually leaning on the boat to our starboard, and their blue ones are already touching us. We've asked the marinaro to come and give us a hand, and then he can get on one of these boats to fend off, and I can fend off on the other side. We're just crossing a shipping channel, and there's a lot of traffic we have to look out for. It's the kind of boat, or maybe I should say the size of the boat, that you don't want to get in the way of. Have a look. missed it by that much. Not quite. We've arrived at our beautiful anchorage for tonight. Only just dropped anchor. Haven't had a swim yet, but it's really inviting.
It's beautiful. It's a little bit rolly, but the wind's going to drop down, so I think that'll get better.
Where are we?
We're in
Castiglioncelli, I think.
Yes.
But it's our anchorage for tonight, and then we'll move on tomorrow on our quest.
30 nautical miles sailed today, and probably a reach for most of it. So we've had speeds up to 7.5 knots, so we sort of chopped through that 30 nautical miles pretty quickly. So it was nice, only 40 minutes on the motor, which is really good because brand new motor, we have to do an oil change at 50 hours. So that's due. And
we don't want to do it. You don't want to do it.
Well, I do want to do
not
it.
gonna do
It's bloody difficult. It's bloody difficult to find the parts.
Yeah.
I think I'm just about going to have to go to the online chandlery and get them delivered somewhere.
But that's difficult in itself. It means that we've got to pull up somewhere and plan when we're going to pull up there.
Yeah. You know, when I was in Canay and had all those chandleries there, I thought, oh, should I get that stuff? And I thought, nah, it's all right. There'll be chandleries like this all the way around. No, there's not. No, there's not. We were in a place with really good chandleries, well, lots of chandleries yesterday, but they were all little bits and bobs stores. They were just, not great. Anyway, such is the rigours of sailing life. Just got our code 0 up, doing about 6 knots in about 7.3 knots of wind.